Good afternoon, everyone. Let us wait for 1 minute so that students can come. Okay, so the previous session we have completed some terminologies which is associated with the sinusoidal waveform like cycle, time period, then frequency, amplitude, okay, instantaneous value. Also, when we can say what is the phase, when two quantities are in phase, when two quantities are out of phase. Also, we have discussed the definition of RMS value, right? And I think we have started the graphical method to determine the RMS value. Okay, so let me just give you the highlight of RMS value again, and then we will start the graphical and analytical method to find the RMS value. So basically, RMS value is see, when you are applying any DC current into the circuit for particular amount of time and it produces the heat, okay, now you have to apply the AC voltage, for that particular amount of time only, and dissipate the same heat as in previous case. Okay, for example, here we are applying 10 volt so that 5 ampere is flowing. Okay, 10 volt 5 ampere is flowing into this 2 ohm resistance, and let us apply this 10 volt for 5 minutes, and here 50 watt power is dissipated. Okay, now I have to dissipate the same power, that is 50 watt in this case, and I have to apply the value of current for 5 minutes only, right? And I have to find the value of voltage, means at what voltage during 5 minutes I'm getting the same value. That is my RMS value of AC, which is equivalent to the DC. We can find it by using these two methods, graphical and analytical method. Okay, so let us, analytical method is based on mathematics. Let us start with the graphical method. It is also known as mid-ordinate method. Graphical method is also known as mid-ordinate method. Now, here you can see we have one waveform. Okay, just a minute. So you can see this waveform over here. Now, as per this method, first of all, I have to divide the time base into n number of equal intervals. So this is the time base, means time axis, and I have to uh, divide the whole axis into, means whole time period into the n number of equal intervals. So you can see, let me take, this is the time period t. This is what the time period t means. Here my waveform is getting ended. So up to this, the time period of the waveform is t. Now, from 0 to this green line, this is my first interval. Then this is the second interval, third interval. Okay. Likewise, we have n number of intervals. So you can see every intervals, each and every intervals is having 2 points. This is 1 and this is 2. And if you want to find the mean, means ultimately it is the part of waveform. If you look like this, okay, it is the part of waveform. Okay, and from starting and ending point, I'm finding out the average or mean. So this midpoint will give me the average current for that particular interval. For example, you can see the dotted line in between each green lines. Okay, so this is the starting of this interval, this is ending of that interval, and in between this dotted line, that is for I6, it is my mean value for that particular interval. Okay, so number of mean values is equal to the number of intervals in which you have divide your waveform. Okay, so here I have n number of intervals. That means n number of average or mean value of current is there. The average value of instantaneous currents are I1, I2, I3 up to IN. So you can see for first interval it is I1, for second interval it is I2, for third it is I3, then I4, I5 up to IN. Okay, now suppose I have one circuit. I have one circuit in which one resistance is connected. The value of resistance is R. Now, one by one, I am passing the this average current I1, I2, I3. So first of all, if I divide the n number of intervals, means total time base in n number of intervals. Now we know the total is t. Okay, total time period is t. So what is the time interval uh, for one section or for one strip? It is t by n. So first of all, this I1 component is passing through this resistance R for how much interval? T by n. So anyone can tell me what is the amount of heat generated over here due to this I1 current. Equation of heat is what? I square into RT. Okay, this is the equation of heat. Instead of I square, I have small I1, so I can write I1 square. Resistance is as it is, and instead of T we have T upon N. So due to first component or first average value, this I1, this much of heat is going to be generated. Okay. Now in second interval, the instantaneous value is different because it is time varying function. If you see I4, then this value is also different as compared to I3, I2 and I1. So one by one I can pass all the values to this. Now pass I2. Again one heat is generated, that is I2 square R into T by N. Then I3. So I3 square R into T by N. We have up to N current. So the last component is In square into R into T upon N. Clear up to this? So heat produced in different intervals, as I told you, is like this. Due to I1, it is I1 square into R into T by N. Due to I2, it is I2 square into R into T by N. Then I3 square into R into T by N up to In square into R into T by N. So all of you getting up to this? Just give the response in the chat box. Okay. So total heat produced by all these intervals, because right now it is individual component. Okay, these all are individual component due to I1, due to I2, due to I3, due to I4 up to In. Now the heat produced in T intervals means your waveform is started from 0 and it is going up to T. So now we are going to find the total heat generation. Okay. So during T interval, it will be the summation of all. So you can just write the plus sign in between, so that here no need to write, but this is one step just before this over here. Okay. Up to plus this. So in this case, if you find R and T by N is common, so I'm just taking R into T common. The rest of the term is I1 square plus I2 square plus I3 square up to In square is divided by N. Okay. This is what the total heat produced in T intervals. And this is due to AC current, because we have the waveform is alternating. Now remember the definition. We have to compare DC as well as AC, and the heat generated, okay, that heat produced by DC and heat produced by AC both will be same, 50-50. See over here, both will be same. So already now we have the value of heat generation due to heat AC. So we can write this is H AC. I have to compare this value with HDC. So let us find HDC. So how we can find HDC? Again, the same circuit as we have seen in the definition. In the same circuit, I have to apply DC source. The resistance is R. How much time? Total time period is T. And the total current which is passing is, let us say, I. Okay, so I current is flowing, that is DC. I current is flowing up to T time through this resistance R. How much heat is going to be generated? I square RT. So heat produced by direct current is I square RT. According to the definition, both the heat due to DC and due to AC are same. So as per given definition, we can just compare both the heats like this. I square RT, this is HDC, which is equal to HAC. Okay. RT cancel from both the side. So the remaining term is what? I square is equal to this bracket. I square is equal to, in bracket, I1 square plus I2 square plus I3 square plus I4 square plus up to IN square divided by N. Just give the square root on this side. So I have I is equal to under root I1 square plus I2 square plus I4 I3 square up to IN square divided by N. Okay. So this is nothing but IRMS. IRMS. Okay. So the value you are getting in the square root is known as IRMS. And this equation is we are obtaining by which method? The method name is mid-ordinate method or graphical method. This I1 square plus I2 square plus I3 square is nothing but we can say the square root of average of the current. Square root of average of the current or mean of the I square, not current but average of I square. Mean of I square or average of I square. Or I can also write like this. RMS is equal to what? Square root of area under the squared curve. Area under the squared curve divided by period for 1 cycle. Area under the squared curve divided by period for 1 cycle. So this is the equation of IRMS based on graphical or mid-ordinate method. If you want to write for VRMS is equal to average of V square. So what is the replacement? Only this quantity, square root of V1 square, small v1 plus small v2 square plus small v3 square up to small vn square divided by n. Okay, so this is RMS value by using mid-ordinate method. Second method is analytical method, or it is also known as method of integration. Analytical method or method of integration. Okay. Wait a minute. Now, as I told you that analytical method is based on mathematics. So if you have some good command in integration, okay, and some basic equations like trigonometry and all, this method will be very easy for you. Okay, so let us start it. Again, the fundamental is same, concept is same, that you must have one value of heat generation due to AC and another value of heat generation due to DC, and then you have to compare both this value AC and DC. Okay, if you equate it, you will get RMS value. Okay, so let us see the same thing we have done in the previous method also. So in this case, heat produced by an alternating current of instantaneous value I in resistor R in time dt is, can I write like this? One circuit is there. In this circuit, the value of resistance is R. Value of resistance is R, and we are giving AC supply. We are giving AC supply. Due to this, the current small I is flowing through this R resistance for how much time? dt. Okay. So now all of you know equation of energy I square R into T. Now instead of I we have small I, so I can write I square R time. Time is dt in our case, so I can write I square R into dt. So heat produced by an alternating current of instantaneous value I in resistor R in time dt is I square R dt. So this is one small amount of current that I am taking. Okay, suppose Suppose this is one cycle. Let us take this is current. Now out of the total cycle, first of all, what I'm taking? Instantaneous value. This I is nothing but instantaneous value of this particular duration. Okay. So right now I'm considering only this area. Only this area, which is having time period is dt. And over here I'm getting current is I. This is 0 to 2 pi, means total time is up to t. So now you can just look at previous theory over here. I am finding the total value of heat generation due to AC, but before that I have this small interval, and due to this the whatever energy is produced, heat is produced, that we are going to sum up over here. In analytical method, I have only one component of energy till now due to one small area, but we know that the total time period is up to t, and you all have studied in mathematics that if I just integrate this small area with the total time period, I will get the total heat energy, yes or no, by using this equation. So what I'm going to do now, integrate this equation I square r dt with respect to total time period. Let us take it capital T. Okay, total time period is capital T. So integration of 0 to t I square r into dt. So this will be my total heat produced in one cycle of alternating voltage, alternating current. So already we have the AC, heat produced due to AC. Now we require heat produced due to DC. So what we have to do, total time period is T. Okay, so I'm going to pass DC current in the same circuit. So you have to replace this voltage source. You have to replace the voltage source now with the DC, due to which DC current is flowing through R. Sorry for the interruption. Yes, I am going to apply the DC voltage, and due to this DC current is flowing through the R. For how much time? The time will be same, that is capital T, because here also I integrate for the time period of T. So I have to pass this DC current for the same time. So due to this, heat developed is I square RT. Okay, so this I square RT is due to the heat developed due to DC supply. Now according to the definition, I have to equalize both the heat generation. HAC is equal to HDC. So let us do it. So by definition of RMS value, we can just equal HDC and HAC, put down the value over here. HDC is I square R into capital T is equal to HAC is integration of 0 to T I square R into dt. Just I have put down the value over here. Now RR is cancelled because it is constant, so you can write before the integration. So actually this equation is I square T is equal to R into integration 0 to T I square into dt. So in this way I can write. Now R and R is cancelled. So what I have, this T we have to take capital. So I have I square, take T on this side. So 1 upon T integration 0 to T I square into dt. Okay. I square is equal to 1 upon T integration 0 to T I square into dt. Now take the square on this side. So I is equal to under root 1 upon T integration 0 to T I square into dt. This is the RMS value. This is the RMS value equation by using analytical method or method of integration. Analytical method or method of integration. So you can just write this is nothing but IRMS, or you can compare the equation with this statement or this definition. Just now I told you RMS value is equal to square root of area under the squared curve for one cycle divided by time period of one cycle. So can I say that integration 0 to T I square into dt is the area under the squared curve for one cycle, because we are taking the integration from 0 to T. 0 to T means one cycle and squared curve. So this is the square of the current, okay, and this is known as area divided by T. Divided by T. T means what? Time period of one cycle. So this is nothing but the RMS value by analytical method. If you want to write it for the voltage, okay, because in both the case we have discussed about the current, but suppose I want to write for VRMS, then equation will be very simple. Only you have to replace this quantity with the voltage. Let us see it. Effective value of voltage can be determined by this, because in case of DC I can write I is equal to V by R, and in case of AC it will be I is equal to V by R small I. I told you, if you remember, that instantaneous value is always represented by small letter. So here you can see small I and small v is there. So this is for AC and this is for dc. So in this equation you have to just replace. Instead of I can write v by r, and instead of this I square I can write v square by r square. You have to put the value of capital I and small I in this equation. That's it. So what happened? V by R is equal to, I'm taking this R out of this square root, under root as it is 1 upon t, integration 0 to t, the remaining is v square into dt. R is cancelled, so I'm getting the same equation just like the current, only the quantity current is replaced by the voltage. Any doubt up to this? Anyone? No. Okay, till this point we have just discussed the generalized method for RMS value, and in both the method we have different equations. Now we have to use this equation, okay, for the RMS value of current, and I have to find the RMS value for sine wave. Let us find the RMS value for sine wave by using this equation. Okay, so let us do it. You have to remember this equation. I is equal to under root 1 upon t integration 1 by t, sorry, square root 1 by t integration 0 to t I square into dt. RMS value of sinusoidal current. So in this case, first of all, small I is equal to Im into sine omega t. Can I write like this or not? You can take sine omega t or sine theta. Okay, because omega t is equal to what? Theta. So I can also write like this. I is equal to Im into sine theta. Im into sine theta. Okay. So the equation is very simple actually. So first of all, I'm going to consider this equation. I is equal to Im sine theta. Okay. Now, I have to use the equation whatever we have derived. IRMS is equal to square root of 1 by t integration of 0 to t I square into d theta. Why d theta? Because this is the part of the smaller area you can see. Okay, this is one waveform. You can see this inside one. Let me just draw the line on that. Then consider this red waveform, which is Im sine omega t or small I, and I'm considering the smaller part out of the whole waveform, and that is having the width d theta. Okay, so it is, we can write I square into d theta integration, then we are doing the integration over the whole cycle. So capital T is what? Capital T is what? Time period is the time period. Now your work is just put down this value Im sine theta in this equation. So please put down the value over here and tell me what you are getting. I'm waiting for your response. I'm getting one response, Im upon root 2. Good. So here you can see, this is our equation. Irms is equal to square root 1 upon t integration 0 to t I square into d theta. So I can write I square is Im square into sine square theta into d theta. Okay. Now t is what? Time period, which is from 0 to 2 pi. So I can write t is nothing but 1 upon 2 pi integration 0 to 2 pi. So we can write like this, 1 upon 2 pi integration 0 to 2 pi into Im square sine square theta d theta. Maximum value Im is constant. So you can take it out of integration. Im square upon 2 pi. In bracket we have sine square theta, and we can write sine square theta from this equation. So what it sine square theta means what? 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2. From this equation we can write 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2. Okay, so further this will be as it is. I can write separately for this. So we have two terms, integration 0 to 2 pi 1 by 2 into d theta minus integration 0 to 2 pi cos 2 theta upon 2 into d theta. 1 by 2 is constant and integration of d theta is what? Theta. So I have 1 by 2 integration of d theta is theta. Here it is 0 to 2 pi is the limit, minus again 1 by 2 is constant, so I can write like this. Integration of cos 2 theta is what? Who is telling me integration of cos 2 theta? Yes, anyone can tell me integration of cos 2 theta? Sine 2x by x. Okay. So here you can write it is sine 2 theta basically. Integration of cos 2 theta is sine 2 theta, but here it is 2 theta and our integration is with respect to theta, so I have to divide it by this constant 2. Okay, and here you can apply the limit 0 to 2 pi. Now consider all is under the under the square root only. I'm just taking this much, this term only. Okay, square root is already there, so for this I can write 1 upon 2, apply the limit, higher limit first, 2 pi minus the 0 minus 1 by 2, here sine 2 into 2 pi, so sine 4 pi upon 2 minus sine 0 upon 2. And we know the value of sine 2 pi, 4 pi all are 0, and sine 0 is also 0, because if you look at the waveform it will be look like this. Okay, at sine 0 it is 0, sine pi, then here it is 2 pi is 0, then here it is 4 pi, it is also 0. So this term is 0. 2 2 is cancelled, from this. So only output of this term is what? Only pi. Okay, so I'm getting Im square upon 2 pi multiply by output of this integration is pi. So pi pi cancel. So what I'm getting? Im upon root 2. Im upon root 2. Getting everyone? One upon root 2 is nothing but 0.707. So you can write, you have to remember this equation now. IRMS is equal to Im by root 2. Similarly, you can write for VRMS. VRMS is equal to Vm by root 2, or it is 0.707 into Vm. Now let me tell you one more thing. From this equation, you can understand the purpose of RMS value. See, previously we have this inside waveform. This is my AC, alternating current waveform. Now, when I'm going to do the RMS value, or when I'm going to find the RMS value, at that time I have to do the square of this quantity. Okay, so if I do the square of this I, definitely I will get this outside waveform. Okay, but the interesting thing is what? When I'm going to square this waveform, okay, so square of this waveform looking like this, but it is negative, and if I'm doing the square, then negative into negative will be positive, so the whole curve is reflected on the positive side, on the positive side. Okay, so if you look at this waveform, I'm getting, when I'm finding the RMS value, then the waveform that I'm getting only in the positive, only in the one direction, that is equivalent to DC or not. So now I think you understood that why I have compared AC equal to DC in the both the method, mid-ordinate and analytical method. You can definitely find one effective value over here, because all the waveforms are in positive side. You cannot find the effective value for this alternating cycle, because you can see on the positive half and negative half is equal and opposite, so you will get 0 always. Got it? Now next is RMS value of half wave rectified AC. RMS value of half wave rectified AC. So in this, we are going to find the RMS value for the half wave rectified AC. It is also very simple. Let me just show you so that you can do it by yourself also. IRMS is equal to, this is our equation only. Now, in case of half wave rectified AC, when I'm giving the input to the rectifier first, then output I'm getting in DC like this. And half wave means I'm getting, say diode is forward bias only during positive half or in negative half. Okay, so if you take the diode is forward bias in this cycle, that means I'm not getting anything in between 0 to pi to 2 pi, pi to 2 pi. Okay, so this will be the output of half wave rectified AC. Now you have to use over here the complete cycle from 0 to 2 pi up to this, but you are getting the output during 0 to pi only. So if you see this, I'm taking total time period, but here integration limit I'm taking only 0 to pi. You can take 0 to 2 pi also, but ultimately you are getting 0. Okay, so you can do it by yourself. Next time we will see if you cannot find it. Now if you have any doubt regarding today's session, you can ask your query. Let me just give you the highlight what we have completed today. So we have started from the RMS value. We have seen two methods, graphical and analytical method, to determine the RMS value. We have completed both this method. Also we have find the RMS value of sinusoidal current. Next time we will see the RMS value of half wave rectified AC, and then we will start the average value. Okay. Yes, it is Im by 2. Now let me give you the link for attendance. All of you, you can find the link for attendance into the chat box. Select your division correctly. Those who have submitted the response, they can leave. Okay, everyone, thank you for attending this session. I'm going to end the meeting now.